data team members with us. We have Bob Gradick and Steve Saylor, both from Western Pennsylvania's data research team at the University of Pittsburgh, and they're going to share some information with you at this time.
Thanks, everybody. It's nice to be here. I hope you all can hear me, and just let me know if I need to speak up or move the mic. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some data that's pretty new and has been really useful for a lot of our conversations on the data team, and that's vaccine data. And I'm going to talk a little bit about where we stand. I'm also going to cover a little bit about where we are with the pandemic right now, and then we'll talk about how you might be able to use the data that we're going to show you in your work across the state or Commonwealth. And so I've been involved with the data committee since the onset of the pandemic. Way back to last April, and it's been a really nice way that we've been able to work across disciplines. So we meet twice a week, virtual calls. We have epidemiologists, health professionals on the call, elected officials, technologists, data stewards, members of the philanthropic community, and then also researchers and analysts. And we get together, we come up and look at the data and figure out what it means and talk about data that we'd like to have to answer more questions. And I think it's really important that this work is led by Black members of our community. We are supporting it as allies, and we're really glad to be at the table. And just background for the data committee is that we've been a real advocate for making timely and usable data about the pandemic available to everybody so that we can work to stay safe. The data committee really relies on timely data. We develop a shared understanding of the pandemic, and it really helps us to understand, how to take that data and transform it into action, whether it's through communications or policy change. That's a place that we really want to be. And we're really grateful for the investments that the State Department of Health and Allegheny County's Health Department have made in providing us with data that we can use to have those conversations. So where we are, you are well aware, I think the Delta variant is out there, and cases are rising again, and you could see this is state level data across all races, and we're, coming up to a peak again. But when we break that down, I think one of the things that having disaggregated data by race from Allegheny County is it really allows us to take a look at the dynamics of the virus and what's happening. And I think since the peak last December, the highest peak, we are seeing a higher number of young people composing the people that have been infected. So you can see this chart here shows that in December, about half of Black residents of Allegheny County were infected by the virus, and now 68% of people under age 40 in that group. So we're seeing younger people composing the bulk of the infections now. And younger people, while they're not, I think like looking at this, I'm sorry, I need my reading glasses, I'm getting old. So back at the peak in December, 70% of the people hospitalized in the state across all races were over age 60. That's fallen to be 58%. So we're seeing younger people composing a larger share of the population that's hospitalized from COVID. And disaggregated data by age and race from Allegheny County really shows us what's happening with regard to the vaccination. So the older population in the Black community is more likely to be vaccinated. We have a lot more work to do with the younger population. So statewide, disaggregated vaccination data by race provided by the Department of Health shows us that about 36% of Black people are fully vaccinated. About 5% are partially vaccinated. And the ranges from Allegheny County, the counties we're going to focus on, Allegheny, Dauphin, and Erie, are really right around that percentage. So Allegheny County, about 38% of Black people are fully vaccinated. Dauphin, just a little less. And Erie, Steve, you're from Erie, right? That comes in at about 35%. And if we look at the change over time, so we've been capturing a lot of the data that the state's been putting out every week, and archiving that. So you can find that on the Western Pennsylvania Regional Data Center's website. So statewide, in the past month or so, we've seen an increase of about 22,000 people, black people have been fully vaccinated. So we are improving, but the rate of improvement, it'll take us about 2 years to get 100% there. So you could see those percentages